Hello and welcome back to Baxter's Growing Mad. I'm Tom. Today's the 18th of February. It's currently 6 degrees, sun's out, weather is absolutely beautiful. Some lovely wildlife up here. Little blue tit there. But first, like always, brew time. Hello and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be building a compost bin out of pallets, if you hadn't already guessed from the thumbnail. At the bottom of the plot, I moved a lot of soil and clearing. I need to move this soil to create space for my next job of building the raised beds. So the first project is building the compost bin to hold the soil. So as you can see, I've made the bin out of pallets. I've used 3 pallets for the main structure and a 4th for the doors and the panelling. But if you wanted to make a double compost bin, in which this one will turn into eventually, I would suggest you use 5 pallets for the main structure and the 6th for the panelling and the doors. Other things you'll need, as well as the pallets, to build the compost bin: tool wise, hammer, nails. They could be recycled from the pallets, old screws. I've used 4L brackets, but you could use pallet blocks, a spade to level off the ground, tape measure, a spirit level and a drill. Right, so here I am, measuring out where I want the compost bin to be. In my head, I want to position the compost bin somewhere where it can be easily accessible, but also easily emptied when the compost is ready onto the raised beds. The pallets used are heat treated. They're a standard size of 100 centimetres by 120 centimetres. So here I am marking out on the ground roughly where the bin is going to be positioned and the amount of space the bin will take up. On the day it was a little windy, and I was by myself, which made it hard or a little bit tricky fixing the pallets together, as they blew over a couple of times in the wind. So if you have someone or an extra pair of hands that could help hold the pallets together while securing them, this will save you some time. At the moment I'm trying to work out in my head how I want the compost bin to look. Currently the longest side of the pallets are horizontal, which makes the compost bin very tall and in my opinion look a little bit odd. So after a little bit of fiddling and eyeing the pallets in place, I decided to rotate the pallets, making them 100 centimetres tall, which looked a lot better in my opinion. When I'm 100% satisfied with the look of the compost bin, I needed to level the ground underneath the pallets. This will give the pallets a flush base to sit on and make it more secure. When I'm happy with how level the ground is, and pulling up all the bits of plastic that are hidden under the soil, I'll line up the pallets again, making sure that they're all sitting flush with the ground, and then I'll measure again just to make sure that I've got the compost bin in the right place. At this point I get the spirit level, which is tiny spirit level, and I'm just making sure that the pallet is sitting level and flush on the ground before I start fastening all the pallets together. So I've got some leftover drywall screws from my house, and I've got some of these old L brackets that I'm going to use, just left over, not cost me anything. Alternatively, I could use one of these blocks in the corners to fasten it, but might as well use these if they're free. So like I said, I'm just using the L brackets now in the corner just to fasten with the drywall screws. Right, next I've got some more cardboard that I'm going to line the bottom of the compost bin with. Cardboard's really good to use as it's biodegradable. The worms seem to love it, and cardboard's plentiful, you can get it anywhere. Try to use cardboard that's not heavily printed, and remove any sellotape on non-biodegradable plastic, as this will not rot down or break down, and you'll just be ended up with clumps of plastic in the compost when it's ready. The soil that I've scraped back and put in the wheelbarrow, I've put back over onto the cardboard at this point, just so the wind doesn't blow the cardboard away. Now that the main structure of the compost bin is secured together, the gaps between the pallets are pretty big, so I need to address that next, otherwise the soil will just fall through. So either you could use chicken wire or cardboard. In this case I've used more pallet boards just to screw in. The soil still gets through, so I think I will line it again with cardboard just at a later date. Right, it's the next day now. It's a little bit colder, hence the jacket. And what I'm doing here is I've used some pallet boards to clad the compost bin, making the gaps smaller so I don't lose much soil or compost through the sides. Right, so this is it here. So I've used one pallet here, second pallet here, third pallet here, and then eventually I could get another one, two. I can get another 2 pallets on if needed. I've reused the blocks, the wooden blocks in between the pallets, just to brace in the middle, so I could screw my L brackets into. But like I said, I could even use a block on the inside or a piece of wood to screw into. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just to rot down organic matter so I can use to fill my raised beds. I've taken other panels because I know the gaps were pretty big here, and I didn't want organic matter falling through the sides. So eventually I'm going to put chicken wire or cardboard to line it, and then I just got some of the panels just to brace in between the big gaps, as you can see here, going along. And then for the doors I put 2 panels, screwed 2 panels to the top, 1, 2, and 2 at the bottom, 2, and the same on the other side. And then I can use other leftover panels just to slot down. These just slot down when they start filling up. So now I'm going to just go and get some of that soil down there, put it in here. I've also gone to Starbucks where they throw out a lot of the coffee granules, so I've got that. It's really good to use on the compost heap. So I'm going to try and make my own compost this year. So here I am starting to move the soil from the back of the plot into the compost bin just to store it for now. As you can see, when the soil level or the compost level starts to rise in the compost bin, I'm adding another pallet board just to secure any soil and stop it from falling out the front. Things to consider when going forward when making the compost bin. In this case, I'm going to peg the sides just because the weight of the soil is just pushing the pallets out a bit, and I don't want it to collapse. So if I peg it with some old broken pallet boards that have split, and then drill into the floor just to secure it, and also maybe put a beam across the top of the compost bin, just again to give it that extra bit of extra reassurance that it's not going to collapse. And here it is complete and in use. As you can see, the door is really easy to use. You can just slide the panels out if you need to take compost out, or if you need to add to the compost like I'm doing in this case. And that is all for this video this week. Thank you very much for watching, listening. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please don't forget to give me a like and subscribe, or even drop me a comment, or give me some hints and tips of what I could do next or how I can improve. It's all appreciated. Thank you very much. Bye.